Good morning, Michelle. How are you?
I'm well. I'm well. Good morning.
So good to see you. So
It's
much has
great to
happened
see.
this week. So much more is going to happen next week. Some we know, some we don't know. Like we know it's going to be Valentine's Day somewhere in the week. This week, I think Monday, was it Monday that they had that earthquake down in Turkey, Syria area?
Yeah, I think it's Monday. Yeah, in that area.
Mhm.
Very sad and unfortunate. But I'm glad to see like the survivors. Like I know they lost a lot of lives, but I love seeing the updates of them finding all those children and adults, even though the earthquake happened days ago.
Yeah, and they seem to still be finding survivors. The
Yeah,
numbers are horrific, though, the truth is. In terms of current situation, it says that they've probably lost over 25,000 in terms of
yeah,
lost life. It says
yeah.
Turkey Syria earthquake update, death toll passes 25,000 and they're warning against looting.
Yeah, what's something happening with your computer?
Huh?
Yeah, yeah, it's back to normal.
Okay. It says 12 people detained over collapsed building in Turkey. Police have detained 12 people over collapsed building and it names the areas following the earthquake. They were, they took some contractors into custody. So already
Oh,
they're
what they're
keeping
looking at
them
that.
accountable.
Okay, that's good. Because the structure, I guess, was not secure enough,
Yeah,
which is
clearly
good.
it was questionable.
Yeah, cause yeah, a lot of buildings fell in these modern times. So it kind of like what was happening.
And
But
some of
that's
the,
good though.
some of the buildings were seemingly relatively new constructions. So it was probably a disappointment to the authorities that buildings that were recent constructions were tumbling down just as badly as those that were old. So, you know,
Yeah, make you think of Jamaica are the building, because a lot of structures just going up. But are they equipped to withstand an earthquake? Because I saw in Jamaica they had a tremor or something this week.
yes, it was a light thing. It never disturbed very much. I suppose we've not perturbed about building and whether or not they can stand up, but they should. The parish
It
council
should.
has their standards, and I hope that they are adhering to it. And anything like this would take us out because we're not very much to withstand.
Yeah, that's true.
Anything would take us out. Wow. Anyway, we pray for those people. We pray that they will continue to recover survivors, and for those persons who lost their lives, we pray for their family members, that they will be
Yeah,
able
thank you.
to endure.
Yeah, that is so true. So many atrocities happening around the world. Make you like, grandmother always say God is coming soon. This world.
Michelle, he said that your grandmother always said God is coming soon. So I saw this video this week where this man, this a little clip, this man was apparently on this bus, this public
Yeah.
bus coming from downtown, and the people are calling that the driver was driving slow. And so the man said, "Oh no, oh no, people can't please, they don't want to wait for 3 hours. When finally get on bus, no one complain, say bus I drive too slow. What do you know? No, no, so complaining that God probably not going to even bother come because
That's true.
everything, rainfall, complain, everything.
That is true. But why am I complaining about a bus going slower?
Can you imagine that?
Did
That
your
people
life.
complaining that bus driving slow in this day and age.
Exactly. I prefer to
Like
drive slow. So I know I'm
the,
safe.
the driver must have sent himself, if now pick up no ticket for them whopping fines
Oh
that
my God.
exist these days. So
Yeah. Which is
quite
good.
fine.
Or I see some videos where they're still not complying. So it's like they don't care. Some of the taxi drivers. But I hope the fines will deter them to abide and make them abide by the rules. So when I say my speed, I'm gonna have heart attack when I'm in Jamaica.
So bad them drive bad. I don't tell you no lie,
Horrible.
them drive bad. Them drive bad. Really super bad. Let me take some notes online
Comment.
because I see people are online. And the topic is love is in the air. Yes, love is in the air.
Yeah, let me pull up.
Paulette Chamber says, good morning, ladies. Good morning, Paulette. So good to have you here. Oh, Alvin Wilson says, blessed morning. Blessed morning. Kamisha Thompson says, good morning. Long time no see. Yes, tell us, account for yourself. Where have you been? Judes Browning says, good morning. Good morning, Miss Judes. How you do? Juliet Rose says, good morning, ladies. Hope you had a progressive week. Well, I had a productive week and my week continues. See, I'm in office, I'm on campus this morning. This weekend is what we call our master's weekend. So how our master's programs operate is that one weekend per month you're on campus and the rest of it it's online remote support. So this is a weekend that the master's students are on campus, and so I am here to spend a few moments with them. And with the team that supports the program. What master's program? A master's in teaching and learning, and we're hoping to roll out a master's in special education and a master's in restorative practices. So
okay, that is good.
I'm on campus. And Chris Scott says, bless up, Chris, bless up, bless up.
And for YouTube people, on YouTube, you know, like, I know you guys are there, so
say something.
Yeah, say something.
Say something. Wow. So that's my cap for Facebook and my attendees. In terms of news, a little bit sad following on the earthquake, but probably a little bit closer to home. We too have lost some persons, some notable Jamaicans. We lost Delano, Senator Delano Franklin. That's his name, right? He really was an active player with the diaspora issues. So he had been ailing for a little while, I get to understand. And so he passed on Thursday. And then also we lost a bishop from the Anglican Church, Bishop Thompson. He retired. He wasn't the current bishop. He's the former, the immediate past bishop of the Anglican Church here in Jamaica. So Bishop Thompson, he was 71, I think. He died.
And he was Friday. Jamaican?
Yeah, man, he was Jamaican. Real Jamaican pastor man.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, there's a lot of people expressing condolences. So you could tell he touched a wide variety of people.
Yes. He really was a people person. He understood all areas he understood education. He understood Christianity and how to reach beyond just the Anglican faith. So he was loved by many. He was really loved by many.
When you talk about education, does the Anglican Church operate any schools?
Well, Anglican have Holy School here. St. Hugh's is an Anglican school. Church Teachers College is an Anglican institution. I might be stretching it to think that perhaps the Excelsior. There are a number of Anglican institutions across the island, man. What? And
okay, I guess because in Trelawney, I can't recall any Anglican school in Trelawney.
Westwood.
The Baptist.
Oh, the Westwood. Oh, but what the matter about Westwood? How is Westwood, Mish?
Well, we're survivors. We got hit by a fire, but it kind of strange, and it kind of go back to how with technology. Like, I believe a student left her laptop plugged in, so it overheated and exploded. And, they always say to you, don't keep your laptop plugged in. Always unplug everything, your telephone, your cell phone, everything always unplug. And then it's just kind of strange that in our time that it happened, that a laptop actually exploded. I expected this, like this isn't to have like a surge protector or anything to prevent something like.
But I don't know, would a surge protector have prevented it from exploding? I think it probably just charged too much.
Overcharge. But it kind of sad though, because they had a fire a few years ago. So Westwood has been it's a boarding institution. So they've been having a lot of challenges. And the children did lose a lot of their items, like everything was destroyed. So they are seeking funding to assist with aiding these children to get back on their feet. And I guess one of the students lost all her information because she was doing her SBA. So she lost everything because exam time. So if anybody can assist,
who that?
Leo. I'm surprised.
Oh gosh, yes, I wish we bundle everyone come look.
Make sure.
Make sure it's not wrong with you. Mark says, good morning, ladies. Good morning, Mark. How are you? Mark, it's so good to see you. Feel like we haven't seen you in a little while.
Yeah, V Heslop said, good morning, ladies. Good morning. And for those on YouTube, say something. You know you're there.
There's a sound that says that. Say something. And please, for those who are on Facebook, please share because our notification might have been a little bit late this morning. So share it on your story so that people can join and come and talk about it. Our topic says love is in the air. We want to talk about that concept of love when we were growing up and the practicality of love. No. So we
love a totally different thing, you know, from back in the day. Like this generation, it's totally different. Like you think of this.
Yeah, where you going?
No, even when the love doctor.
Love Dr. Leo.
It is totally different nowadays. Totally different. Not the fairy tale from back in the day.
I guess things and times change. People are just change.
Yeah, but then it changed for the better or the worse.
So we can hear you.
I'm gonna take on Michelle with the damn fairy tale business this morning, guys.
But it don't exist anymore.
Leo, welcome. We're so happy to see you.
I love fairy tale love. So if it's that, I'm not getting away from that. So if anybody want me, if you not bring fairy tale love, come give me that. You can't that far. You know, want nothing else other than fairy tale love.
But Leo,
well, hopefully I find it because it not exists. Because I'm telling you, a different world.
But he names it right. He says it's fairy tale, so it don't exist.
Well, I'm just using the term that she's using. Right?
Yeah, okay, let me define fairy tale.
Okay, define fairy tale.
Fairy tale to me is when they come pick you up, buy you nice flowers, take you to a nice restaurant, you know, take it dining, exploring the place, doing different stuff. You know, it's just not exist to me. It's like everybody just, I don't know, it just like.
So Michelle is saying that not happening?
Not in my world.
Leo.
Listen, I am not going to address Michelle and her real world. Me love fairy tale. So if somebody want to come and pick me up and carry me out for dinner and carry me to the movies because they want to establish a relationship with me, I'm fine with that. If you don't want to do that either, I'm still fine. You can just sit down and chat the whole evening with you and, you know, still fairy tale. I'm fine.
Yeah, it's like nobody want no substance. Like, they don't want nothing deep. You know what I mean? It's just like one different.
So Michelle, you said people just too shallow these days and they're
very shallow,
profound about relationships.
No, that's not what she's saying. She's saying that this is what I want for Michelle. You know, this is what Michelle wants.
Yeah, but literally, like, people don't really want nothing really deep. It's like people just situationship, they call it now. They don't call it relationship.
They call it what?
Situationship. It's like, yeah, you talk to the person, you don't expect anything, they just can move on, and you just move on. It's like, we're not tied together.
No commitment.
No commitment. I do what I want, you do what you want. Call it a day. You dare not ask me
I like that too. So I'll have my fairy tale and then I'll have one of those. I'm fine with that.
Leo, you want both worlds.
Of course. If I don't have it
right.
You know, funny enough, that's what really happened. People want both worlds. because they will have their wife. That
Uh-huh.
means they have the legitimate relationship at home.
Yes.
But then they want, even women, they have their husband at home, but then they want the situationship outside where they could just call up the person, they're bored, or, like want something else to it, but the person understand, no connection, don't have no emotion. It is what it is. So it does exist, as Leo say, but
Me never said that. You
it's
said
not
that.
be like how
Me
you
just
want
want,
it.
me just
Yeah,
want
that's
it.
what you want, but I'm saying it exists, so it's
Yeah.
there for you. It exists.
Yes.
It exists. It exists.
What Michelle is saying that there, if I gather, coming Tuesday,
Uh-huh.
as I said, 14th, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. The 14th.
She don't want nothing to do that. She
She don't want no chocolate.
yeah, that's a foolishness. But me want it still, right? But then we still can deal with the other things.
Yeah, but no, in a situation, she didn't really expect to get anything for Valentine's Day. Just say, okay, whatever.
Also, in the situationship, you don't get any.
Yeah, you don't really expect anything.
You don't expect.
I don't want one of those.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just a sad world now,
So let me ask something now. When we were growing up, we never conjured. Leo, what were your idea when you first knew of Valentine's? Was it when you were in high school? Because then it really struck me when I was in high school.
No, man. I knew about Valentine's when I was in primary school because we had to exchange puppies and flowers and stuff at primary school.
At primary school?
Yeah, it was a big thing in primary school, but the love part didn't come in until high school.
Okay.
Right, but we did exchange flowers and stuff at primary school. On that day.
Michelle, you knew of it at primary school because
yeah, we did. Like the teachers did it as a project where you did, the card and you buy a little rose, the little rose that they had.
And you give it to your girlfriend.
Yeah. But my recollection is that for Valentine's Day in primary school, for me, it was more about doing this card for your mother and for your parent. And it was, yes, it was, that's my idea. We probably just were too backward or too sheltered. But then when you got to high school,
when we say Jamaica is not a place, you ever hear a term there? Jamaica is not a real place.
Yeah.
Diana's growing up is not a real growing up.
I did not expect you to go there.
I'm sure I'm not alone. There must be somebody out there who can support me and say, yes, the focus in primary school was to make gifts and cards for your mother and your father and that sort of family thing. But then when you got to high school now, it's as if you started to see giving it to somebody that you liked or somebody who you like giving it to you. For me, it wasn't a matter of me giving nobody nothing. It was somebody giving me something.
Oh, wow.
Where did I hear that racist thing a while ago?
What racist thing?
Oh, the ice cream.
I'm actually on campus and the ice cream truck something just drove past. So it's not no Valentine card being dropped off.
Oh no. So Valentine Day is it's been pretty special to me for a long time, right? Because I couldn't miss that being married. When I was married, Valentine's Day was special. That's the day that you bring flowers into the house, or you bring gifts into the house, or you bring laundry into the house, or not laundry, no, lingerie, right?
What?
Lingerie. The special
this
lingerie.
Is when you grow up.
Yeah. Huh?
This is when you turn adult.
Yeah, so when you're married.
When you're married, yeah, when you're married.
Oh, when you're married.
You don't forget
Victoria's Secret.
Victoria's Secret and the other one. Yeah. So you have to be special. Every year it had to be special. So.
Yeah, that's true. I sometimes I think I was born in the wrong generation. I don't know. Sometimes I think. But because my granny grew me.
No, but sometimes I think that Leo was way ahead of him time because primary school. Anyway, let me catch up with some messages. My messages. Market says sometimes he's driving and he can't type. Mark, you need to pull over. You need to know when our time is on and you pull over and do that. Lorna says, good morning, ladies. Welcome to the Roaring Leo. Dr. Dana, do we have pictures of the farm? All right. I'm on campus today. I don't have any pictures, but I can assure you that my beans have sprouted and I will take picture next time. So my beans have sprouted, and this morning I decided that I was going to cut back some flowers at the front because they need sun, and I'm going to put in some sticks and then some English card. Paulette Chema says, oh my gosh, Leo's in the house. Long time don't see. Good to see you. Yeah. Michelle.
Hey, Paulette.
And Michelle, she says, Michelle, that's dating. Kenisha Thompson says it exists, Michelle. I had that initially.
Michelle is on permanent dating.
Not even that.
Permanent dating. Kamisha says Leo want his cake and eat it too.
Yes. Who wouldn't?
Oh gosh. Alvin Wilson says because the ship sail. What ship sailing? Joy Kane says long time boys and girls. Miss you all, Joy, North London. Oh, this is Joy in London. Not my favorite topic. Never had the time for Valentine. Oh, you mean you don't have a time for Valentine? Then what you doing now? You don't have a time for it now, Joy. What's wrong with you?
What the hell? What the hell is this topic anyway, Diana? Why is it that you want to put love is in the air only one time a year?
Yeah, but love is in the air. Is love really love as we conjure it? How do you conjure it? You can't define it in specific ways. So it really up in the air. You know, when something can be defined, it up in the air. Love.
You know, someone really misinterpret what you mean with in the air. You know, when you're in the air, like a bug in the air, where you go catch, but never expect your definition.
Yes, but think about it.
But then I think of your definition, because I was like, in which ear? Because it's not here in the US, in my ear.
But that's it. It is just up. It's there somewhere. People talk about this concept of love. Some people have experienced this thing called love. People define and redefine it. So for me, not specific. It's up in the air.
I think it's very specific. I think love is very specific for the people who are in love.
Yeah.
If you are not in love or you have never been in love, then it's in the air for you.
But it's in the air even for the people who love. You say who have love because it's a past position.
No, man. No. The people who fall in love, because you can fall in love and fall out of love, right? But meaning that you can be all into somebody and in a relationship constantly, and then there's come a time when you guys break up and you don't feel the same way about the person, but you still love them, but not in love. But the only way you can know that love exists is if you are in love. If you have never experienced being in love with somebody, then you will never know what it is to be.
That makes sense.
So love is against in the air because it is dependent on it's things around. It is not specific.
Diana.
It is not static. It's not
Diana.
static. It's
Diana.
not static.
Diana, if you never know what lingerie is, and me buy it, come give it to you, and then you find out what it means to wear tongue and wear what the other one name and all of them things that you said, Jesus Christ, this, it would not have meant anything to you unless you knew what it was. Right?
So Leo,
so therefore,
love is not something that is static. But when I have gotten over my tongue and my straps and everything else, what next?
What next?
Love is redefined.
You start saying blouse and skirt. This make the man go crazy, so let me just go and do it, keep on doing it. And you only get to know it unless you know it. I'm telling you, it's not in the air for the people who are in love. It is a very static thing.
All right, so for all the people who define love in that kind of a concept, fine. But then we all move to different phases, and then love changes. And so love is in the air again,
No.
in a different sphere, in a different
No.
definition.
No.
Yes, Leo, when you were in high school, you
I
saw it one way.
was in love with Diana once upon a time. Diana Davis Smith, the married woman there. I was in love with her one time. Deeply in love with her. And she couldn't do nothing wrong for me. Even when we had a quarrel. She couldn't do
People
nothing wrong.
no truth in that.
Is that the
There is
same
no
kind of
truth
love?
in that.
That's
Is
right.
it the same kind of love or the love of a friend?
No, friend love.
There is no truth.
Different type of
You're
love.
talking rubbish.
But you can't talk when he's talking from his heart.
No, he
You
just
understand
talking to talk's sake. Michelle, you don't understand when Leo does talk when him talk. But you take Leo
You
serious.
talk from his heart. So you,
Michelle, you
have to
always
accept
are
it.
wearing your attorney hat. Put it down.
But he's expressing from his heart. So you
Your
listen.
client is not representing the truth.
You just have to either embrace it or something did happen. Maybe he realized and accept it, and then as he said, change. So,
Leo, it could have been you. It could have been anybody. Leo just talking.
I mean, you take it for what it is, but I'm just saying to you, if a person falls in love with somebody, it becomes a real ball. It becomes a real thing.
that's true.
You cannot not admit that it is. Ask the people. Ask them. If you think I like
That
it.
is
Let me
true.
hear what the people them say, because me have
Oh, let
another
me read few
about
parts.
this book.
Let me read it too on YouTube. Generation Old School said, "Good morning, ladies. Good morning." Generation Old School said, "What did you do for your lady after marriage, Leo?"
Oh my God, this is my favorite time of the year. I mean, can't tell you what me do with her, because then me I'll let out all of the secret.
No, I think you
because
mean
me might have, okay.
after marriage.
Don't answer
Maybe
yet, Leo.
after
Don't
marriage.
answer yet. Let me get these out. Paulette says, I remember going out for dinner, lingerie from Victoria's Secret, flowers and all. Lawton says, good morning, everyone. Nice to see you all. Welcome, Lawton. Aline says, it's all around. She says that love is not just in the air, it's all around. Paulette Chamber says, it's not about love for Valentine's Day. It's about commercializing the holiday and getting people to buy stuff. Joy says Valentine too commercial to a special meaning to my special. Joy, some typo there. Leo, please write the book, says Lorna. Paula Chamber says, when you are in a long-term relationship, the love changes over the year. Yes, it's up in the air. Thompson says, Leo, that was obsession. Marquez says, married 30 years, never celebrated Valentine's Day. But why though? Why would you be married for so long and on a day that signifies love and is all about
Who said that?
No, Mark. I bet I did a drive and camp.
Maybe
Mark,
celebrate love every
Mark,
day.
More know which Mark, because more call him wife right now. Which Mark? Tell me name.
Maybe celebrate it every day.
Mark, what's
so-
the name of your wife? Because we're going to report you.
Mark, call him wife right now.
I said married for 30 years. You can imagine me married for 30 years and my husband don't carry chocolate for me on Valentine's Day and send flowers to work.
Michelle wouldn't mind. Mark, Michelle is here. Michelle wouldn't
Well, I
mind.
mean,
Michelle would
that.
be mad.
I want that. I'm just not getting it right now. But
Michelle would be livid if she married for 2 years
Like,
and she don't get chocolate on Valentine's Day.
Well, I'm gonna eat chocolate. I'm gonna like chocolate like
You
that.
don't like
so
chocolate?
let's talk about what we want for Valentine's Day. What you
So
want for
other
Valentine's
thing. So what I would want for Valentine's Day this year is for somebody to set a date for me to go to a spa date first. Okay.
Want a spa
In the
day?
morning. And then after my spa date, buy me the clothes I need to wear to go to my dinner. I want to go to a nice dinner, so they would buy me my outfit and everything for the dinner. Set everything, make my reservations, have a car pick me up to take me to the location. I'd prefer to have an exclusive room for my date, not a crowded restaurant. After that, I would like to go for a walk on the beach. Is that too much to ask for?
Diana, me not respond to that yet, but let
That-
me hear you. Let me hear your one, Diana.
Is
What
it
I
too
want
much
for
to ask
Valentine's
for?
Day,
Yes, what you want for Valentine's Day?
I want somebody to send me a check for US $1.5 million. I
All
want in
about the
fact that them
money.
lodge it to my account so it can clear.
All about the money. All about the money. You can get that any other day.
I want my pack of chocolate.
I don't like chocolate.
What you want, Leo?
But is it too much to ask? To me, that is quite simple, right?
But I don't understand why you want them to buy your outfit for you to go out. Anyways, you
Because in
want
my
to go
mind,
out.
I am thinking about what's that show? Pretty Woman.
Okay.
You know, when the guy, not that I'm a prostitute, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I remember Pretty Woman. That was a lovely show.
Yeah.
But I don't know still that they don't need to buy me the things. They don't need. I will turn
There
up.
would be what $1.5 million you can buy the damn thing, right?
Exactly.
But you could get that any other day.
on Valentine's Day, call me at 9 o'clock at night and talk to me until 11 o'clock. I'm all right.
So what
That's
happens
all
the
you
rest of
want?
the day?
That's all I want.
So what
No,
happens
again.
for the morning? You don't want chocolate, you don't want flowers.
No, we can go to dinner from 6 o'clock until like 8 o'clock and
Okay.
then talk from 9 o'clock. But that's it. I
I
don't
don't
need
know.
anything special.
I'll be
So what you
quiet.
got to
My
do in
kids
the
just have to call
daytime?
me and I'm good.
What you got to do in the daytime?
Work.
Work?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's so
Valentine's.
boring, Leo.
Yeah.
True.
I
You
can
be
be
some,
bored.
you let me down bad.
Me
I can
expect
be
if
very-
you come with the excitement and the flares. So
I can be very boring. I must say I can
What
be
a
very
piece
boring.
of boringness. Just one go work and then go talk from 9 o'clock, go to dinner, same old dinner again. You wouldn't even say make you cook. Wouldn't even say, well, let me cook. Cook for us and have a nice bottle
Okay.
of wine.
You know,
or something.
I would be up to that as long as you can take some bun up flour or bun up rice or something. But and we have fun doing it. But I can do that too. But you know, I'm very simple. I'm very simple. I'm not into Michelle. Michelle, I am very disappointed. Okay.
Why? I'm into a fairy tale stage right now where I
No,
want.
you just say you didn't want the fairy tale. Isn't that what you?
No, I said
all
that's
over
what
the
I
place.
want. That not exists. I'm saying I want it, but it doesn't exist in our world today. Like everything just, as I call it, situationship.
Oh.
That is what I want. I want the old school type of way.
Oh, you
I
do?
want to be
Oh, so that's why
pampered.
I'm married. Because that's why I'm married to Diana. You know, because if you me change because we don't marry to you, but you start talking about situation.
No, that's not what I want. I want something authentic, serious, and
Coming into
Oh.
that.
that's what I want. I don't want to waste our time. I don't have the time to waste.
I completely misunderstand. I completely
Yeah, I'm glad
misunderstand.
to clear that up.
Yeah, man, you big, you did.
Well, for the sake of the whole world, I'm glad to clear that up. I am quite content, guys. I'm quite content at decent bottle of wine. My children call me and chat for a little bit, and if there's chocolate, fine.
I also like
Somebody
red wine.
comment.
I also like red wine. So
Red wine.
red wine. Mm.
Yeah, oh, Leo, him love red wine. Yes, he does. Joy Kane says, true, someone can love you, but you may not feel the same way. Okay, true. Sandra Sterling said, good morning, my best, beautiful, and favorite panelists and awesome fellow listeners. Me love you. Love Sandy. Nafila Thomas says, yep. Joy Kane says, amen. Paulette Chambers says, Michelle, you can treat yourself with a massage and buy your own.
Listen, I don't want to do any. I don't want to treat
that.
myself. I want somebody to treat me. But not
Well,
the world
Nafila-
is being independent, but enough of this. I want to be.
Nafila said, if you don't have no clothes, go naked. And she died with laugh, but we're not going to support that part of it.
Well, as long as I'm married, I don't see Michelle's request
Yeah, right.
out of order.
Not too much.
I think that's cool.
Yeah, it's not.
Yes, I suppose it is.
Yes.
It's her spouse,
I would do that easily. That,
and it's something that her husband or her partner
no,
should
if she were,
But sorry, Leo, why you say married? If she have a partner, that's fine.
it's a bit much for a partner.
Why? But if you're in a relationship with
Why?
somebody after a period is your partner.
It would be all about her. Valentine Day is about two people. It's not about one person.
But you can go spa with me.
No, you didn't say that.
If you want to go, you could go.
She even said, I'll go walking on the beach. She didn't say we could go walking on the beach. And I
did
would
say that. We. We.
Me never hear all of that. So
yeah, I may not have said that. I'm very selfish. But yeah, it's me. Because we don't walk alone.
Who want to walk on beach alone?
Okay, so the reason I said that marriage, because as a husband, you would do that for your wife, and in return, she would be doing something on a regular basis. For a boyfriend, girlfriend, partner kind of situation, one of those things or two of those things would be enough to me.
But Leo, you know that
there's dinner and then going to walking or buying the dress and going to dinner. You know, them things they are right. I think, you know, I just don't think that you can go there from wake up in the morning until the middle of the night. It's just too much.
But there's some relationships outside of marriage that are long established, and they're even tighter and closer knit than married.
That's true, and they will spend. Some of them will spend their household money on this moment.
Spending. I mean, we want to be able to do rather than spend. I want if I'm.
But you have to spend to do. Well, you have to spend to do.
But when you're putting this money thing in front of me, in my mind, if I am married to you, I'm spending money. It's about just doing what I'm supposed to do.
With money, you still have to spend the money. You still have to spend the money.
But when we focus on you have to spend on me, because that kind of sounds very, very selfish in a way, you know, and most men don't like that. So it's a natural part of the relationship that I would do it. It because it's an investment. It's an investment in the future of the marriage. You know what I mean?
Keep saying marriage, and I don't like that.
But it's also an investment too. If you're serious about your partner dating, and you know, like it's gonna lead to marriage, it's also a good thing to do to show your partner that you care and do these things. I don't see a problem.
All right.
But let me read some comments. Generation old school says, so you don't want to spend the day with your partner, Michelle? My partner
that's the person saying the same thing that I just said.
Generation said, Leo, be careful what you wish for. You might have to turn off your phone.
Turn on your phone, then Leo. Turn on your phone.
Me have to.
All right, let me go. Sandra says Valentine's Day is every day. February 14th is Broke Pocket. Love me every day and we are good, she says. Paulette Chamber says, Leo, you can order the dinner. Joy Kane says, joke aside, this period of time was the worst of my life. She lost her father. It was sudden and the pain has not gone away. All right, we understand. Paulette Chamber says, boyfriends would do that too. Yeah, boyfriends can do what husbands do. Leo, you have to spend. Yes. Sandra said, Betsy, I'll deposit 2.5 million hearts into your WhatsApp message. Lots of love. Thank you very much. I can live with those. I can live with them. I don't care.
I don't think that I'm not an unrealistic guy. And I don't think we can live Valentine's Day every day in our lives. So,
no.
Right? I think that life exists and you know, we just have to be realistic with how we treat others. Mm-hmm. There's a lot to say about honesty. There's a lot to say about being upfront and forward with the things that, and honest with the things that you say to each other. And I think that's where the sharing of love goes. Me believe say the only thing that can derail love is lies and untruth. Right? Because I believe that if two people are completely truthful to each other in everything that they do, then what Sandy say about living and loving every day or Valentine's every day, that would be it for me. You know,
Yeah, that is so true. Because if you know have to worry about other things and you trust the person enough enough for the second guess them, it takes so
Absolutely.
much burden off
Yeah,
you.
man.
You
Absolutely.
can focus on other things and grow in other ways. So
Absolutely.
I definitely agree with that. Honesty is very important
Come on.
and trust.
It is.
Oh, really? We're talking about Valentine Day, no, on gone all
It is the same
all
thing.
philosophical.
Yeah, but
I talk about trust and thing. We're talking about chocolate and flowers and
You
then
know how much better it would be if two people are completely honest with each other and Valentine's Day come. You know how much that Valentine's Day would mean to that couple.
exactly.
It really is.
Yeah, because it's a situationship where I'm thinking it's
but
deep.
that's a
I'm in
relationship too. Situational ships are
Yeah, but I
relationship.
don't expect anything. But I could think I'm in a relationship and you think it's a situationship, but we're not communicated correctly. And I'm sitting there waiting on
Is this
Valentine's Day.
Michelle talking? Is this Michelle talking?
He's a lawyer. He's a lawyer. He's a lawyer speaking.
I'm having trouble here.
He's a lawyer speaking. Lawyer speaking.
The world has changed, Leo. It's a scary world out there. It's not the same. So now you have to be thinking, analyzing, too much pressure on the brain. But yeah, so even for Valentine's Day, as I said, you're expecting something from the party because you're thinking it's one thing and the other party says, it's not that. I sit all day waiting for that call, looking every minute for the flowers and nothing. So it's good to have open communication leading up to even Valentine's. They know where you stand. So if you know,
we are married this year we are married. This year, we are married this year. If this is really Michelle, we are married this year. No joke at all.
I will make sure I brush up my marriage license so I can come and marry, don't know.
Exactly, please. Exactly.
Hey, you know that you can get a pastor certification online in America?
Yeah, long time. I have one.
Okay.
As long as you're at Jamaica.
No, when in the States, you can't get it in Jamaica. In Jamaica, you have to go to school.
In Jamaica, you can't get any goddamn thing.
You can't do a class online.
No, when I start sell that yet. Gavin says, my peoples, good morning, good day,
oh, God.
Why go tell we say no?
Say not yet, but somebody, Kamisha says, lies and disrespect derail love. Lies and disrespect. What's disrespect? Derail love.
Disrespect is lie too. I mean, just mere it's a lie. You tell your wife a lie, is that disrespect?
It is disrespect.
But what happens when you really just have to tell a lie?
No, you shouldn't have to tell a lie. You should be honest. Let the person handle it how they're supposed to. However the chips fall, let it fall, but be honest.
I don't really come here with your lawyer hat this morning. What's wrong with you? Lies are necessary sometimes in relationships. Who don't tell lie in them relationship? I
don't like the little lies, because the little lies lead to bigger lies. I just feel like it should be honest upfront. Be transparent.
Oh, all right.
We're all adults.
Leo come home to you now and say, oh, Michelle, I'm late again because you know me did stay over Gloria too long. I'm having a relationship with her. Honest?
Yeah, that's honest enough. And then Leo would understand that this relationship with me is over because Michelle is not sharing. So go on back over to Gloria with all of your belongings and good luck and have a great life. So I appreciate the honesty.
Say we're honest, you know, throw you out the house. All right.
No, but the honesty would come from before though, because Michelle would know who I am before we got into a relationship. Because I would say to her, well, me like having my little side chick on the side, right?
Exactly.
And you know, can we deal with that? Can you deal with that? And she would say, no, me can't deal with that.
Exactly.
If she said yes, then we continue. I'm going to tell her, hey, me overdraw.
But when she says no, then are you going to keep the side chick and move to somebody else?
If I like Michelle enough, then yes, no side chick, right?
Okay.
But we have to discuss that up front before anything.
Exactly.
No.
Be clear up front.
So she will know exactly who I am and that I can say to her, hey, me love Gloria last night. You know, and she
Exactly. Or when Gloria decides to call Michelle and say, you know, something of your man, I will say, okay, you have him tonight. Yeah, I know he's with you tonight. Okay, but I'll see him tomorrow. And then Gloria go shame.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a joke.
Oh my God, that is my joke. Let me see this now. Lorraine Dunkley says, hi, Lorraine Dunkley, hey, says, hi, folks. We dated. Mark used to bring me flowers. Lorraine is here. Remember when Lorraine is here?
Yes, Lorraine.
When we dated, Mark used to bring me flowers, cards, trinkets, a lot. So we never needed Valentine's Day. Now, 30 years of marriage, he does that every anniversary, birthday, Mother's Day.
That young man, all you have to do is call him wife, and that's it.
Yeah.
You see?
She says he does that every anniversary, birthday, Mother's Day, etc. He's a devoted hobby, and dad, so I don't care about Valentine's Day. And she have love. That is so awesome. Oh my God.
That's so sweet.
Lorraine, come online. You are such a good wife.
Mark, no, when they do.
I think Mark probably in a doghouse making come say that and then draw away out and then. But anyway, Lorraine, thanks for sharing that. That is so encouraging.
That's so nice.
After 30 years of marriage, he's still like that, you know?
So, you see, someone who knows how to respect their marriage.
Yeah.
He came on for fool we know. A fool didn't come fool we know.
Yeah.
Because he might give you the impression that, I me not care. What are the ones that me not care? But that's not true. He actually cares more than we even think. Right?
Let me
they go on tough and no say I want softy. That is good.
He's a putty cat.
Yeah, and it's nice. That's what people want. That's what, you know.
So that's what love is, right?
Yeah.
Always throat from the get-go, consistent, open, really very good.
Yeah, and at least she appreciate it because some people are very unappreciative. So it good she let him know that she appreciate what he does.
Yes.
All right.
Kudos to you both.
I love that. And you know, but let me tell you something though. 112 vase a rose is expensive, bud.
Okay? They are pricey.
He's a piece. Me now buy the more flowers to nobody else.
They are very pricey.
But Leo, we all expect flowers from you. How you mean to come here to say you're not buying none? I want my 12 flowers and Michelle want 12.
Only one woman
No, I don't really want the flowers.
During Valentine's Day, we only have one woman, right? For the rest of the year, we
can buy a dozen roses and give each woman one.
No, I don't want one. I don't want one.
I
don't want one.
I have 6, I get 2.
I want dozen.
There are men out there who want no woman during Valentine's. They get rid of them in the middle of January and then pick them up back in March.
That is true. And then
malice them.
Some men, trust me, some men will start arguing and cut them off like for last week.
Yeah.
And then the week after Valentine's Day, they link them up. A serious world, serious world. And with wife or somebody else in Valentine's Day. I'm telling you, serious world after Diana.
Different so then pick a fight, deliberately pick a fight, really very calculated. And so they don't have no commitment, no obligation to you for that period. And then after that, them find themselves back at your yard. Hell no.
A good man, however, even in malice is supposed to send the flowers.
Exactly.
A good man would send the flowers.
Yeah. I'm telling you,
even though the malice, pitch panic card and say, even though the malice, you still deserve the flowers.
Exactly. Different generation, Dr. Diana. It's cold out there, very cold.
Yeah, this I want to know, you know. Politics, sometimes people can't handle the truth. Yes, true. Kamisha says lack of communication and holding information is detrimental. Joy says without trust, honesty, there's no relationship. Lorna says this honesty thing gone far. Gloria can't call and tell me Leo over our house. The only way he
No, some
can
woman
do
do
that,
that.
Gloria would have to be his mother.
But you know, so some women literally do that with their outer self.
Do what?
We call the wife or, you know, like this
They do.
serial and try to create drama.
They do.
Mark says, Mark is in the house again. He says, ladies, all you have to do is to date a brother from Cornwall College.
Oh, you know, all my uncles went to Cornwall College, right? So yeah, Cornwall College guys.
It doesn't mean that they're good.
And,
So
and
the one
of course,
that
Lauren,
know.
she died with laugh when Mark said that.
Yeah, the ones I know are good. They kind of maybe not really stick to one woman, but they're respectful.
Okay.
But, yeah.
All right, we're not going to say nothing more. Sandra Sterling, we're not going to ask for the evidence. Sandra Sterling says lack of communication, dishonesty, and respect derails any type of relationship. Paulette says, wow. I know she a wow about, but she said, wow. Ooh, Valentine's is here.
That's the good part of the show this morning.
What was your favorite Valentine Day? Can you recall one that was just totally fabulous?
Nope. I cannot.
Okay.
Nothing stands out in my head.
I think it was I started working in the bank and my first Valentine's Day, and I didn't know what to expect, and I got a fabulous orchid. And you know, you're just watching this orchid coming in and you figure, say, oh, somebody get an orchid. Woo, that is so nice. And then it goes to the accountant, because usually the accountant, she knows she was this older woman, and as anything coming through the door, she collected it as if it's hers. So she collects it from the bearer and she puts it on her desk, and then in a little while I see her walking, coming around, and everybody like following her to see where this orchid going. And it was my orchid, and it was totally beautiful.
Yeah,
I remember that.
That's awesome.
So Diane, who said it?
Husband.
That's a good husband. I don't remember nothing really.
Michelle, stop it. You can't be emanating that kind of, you know, visual look out there. No.
Nothing stands out.
Everybody had a moment in time, even in high school.
Yes, Michelle, never in high school. In high school, I had this boyfriend, and I remember that he had his arm like this, and then he painted a red and put some lovey-dovey thing on it on him sleeve right here, because then it looked like a heart. And that was just draw the heart on it.
And your name was on it.
And I was in second form. And
your name was on it.
Then now most my name depend after I know mad fi can show me without my name.
Wow. A lot of great things. I can't recall any. Nothing stands out.
It is unfortunate that Valentine's Day is supposed to be between man and woman, but it's still focused on woman. I don't understand that. The bias that surrounds this, right?
Yeah.
I think I probably bought him lunch that day. So I'm not a bad girl. Sandra, let me see. Joy Kane says, any man who actually knows me, tell me them to plant a tree in my honor. So she says she don't need none, just go plant one tree.
Oh, yeah. All right. I don't just make it not be a banana tree, because they might chop it down later on.
Huh?
They go chop down the banana tree later.
Who can chop down the banana tree?
If it's don't plant a banana tree. It can't be in any tree because it can't be a banana tree. Because if it's banana tree in a Diane backyard, she'll chop it down later on.
No, me only wait for beer. Me chop it down when the banana beer and the banana them come in, and we might not
Diana, the tree can only bear one banana.
One bunch.
No.
One bunch.
No.
Yes.
After one bunch, it chop down.
But then remember that it sprouts another one there. You don't know nothing about banana.
Yeah,
And you
no.
said, Mary,
Remember the banana tree keep growing. Banana.
no, it's not the same one. The banana tree bear, you have to chop down that one when it done bear because the sprout coming off.
You know,
Michelle, you think it's the same banana tree?
I have a feeling that Michelle thinks that the right banana different from the green banana, you know.
No, but I don't know. But my mother always said that banana tree, they grow again. A banana. Some of them think I want banana. I don't know if it chopped down some, I don't know. I thought it was the same banana tree. Because she keep on saying, oh, banana coming again. So
I have a friend who thought that there was a ripe banana tree different from a green banana tree. So
really,
I'm not surprised.
I know that.
Leo, you can't talk about Michelle business like that. Shame on you, Leo. Leo, shame. Right up in our face and talk.
But you guys had another topic to talk about this morning.
Well, the truth is that that was supposed to be the last thing, but I wanted to read this article. We need to talk about the education sector. Okay. And some videos that have been going around, but I want to start on a positive note. There's an article in the paper this morning, and it says St. James educators execute loitering operation in Mobile Town Center. And it reads, principals and deans of discipline from various high schools across St. James carried out an operation in Montego Bay on Thursday morning to address the problem of students who are loitering in the city. The exercise became necessary as students made it a habit to hang around at various points, including the transport center, where they conduct themselves inappropriately. It's an initiative from the Coalition of Principal Co-ops, and we are here to take our students off the streets and get them into vehicles and off to school, based on the fact that we have an issue with punctuality as it relates to our students and loitering on the road. What are your thoughts about that?
Well, in my day, they used to do that. It wasn't necessarily the principal, but the police officers and whoever, like if you were on the road after a certain time, they will actually put your name on a list and give it to the principal who will punish you. But the police will ensure that you get on a bus and go home. Like by 5 o'clock, all high school students, primary students, they're off the street in Falmouth. So it was something in the past, so it's good they're reintroducing it. And that was really good because I don't like seeing them on the road. They block up the road when you're walking now. Different time of day, say high school students. I know they have shifts, but they're just on the road, walking, gallivanting, talking, doing everything else. So yeah, that's a good initiative that they should do all over Jamaica. Get them off the road.
Is it sad that we're at a space that principals have to come out and the students don't know that really they have a duty to be at school on time, or their parents or don't, the wider society doesn't insist on it?
Well, they know they need to be at school. The parents more likely going to work.
Do you think that the average person could have spoken to these children and they would have responded in a positive way?
You see how them people act to adults? No. You say they cuss out everybody and run them and tell them about their mother? No. I think with how they are right now, that's the best approach. Are the police, the patrol police, because they have the metro police to get them. Yeah, I think that's the best, especially Montego Bay students. Well, stop up people.
I think them all do it though. Leo, what are your thoughts on it?
I don't know what it looks like in Montego Bay Square, but loitering has always been a thing that happened across our cities, and I don't know how that is going to be eliminating all the other problems that they have, because loitering has everything to do with all the other problems that students have.
Like respect, discipline.
Yeah, and it just doesn't start where you see them. So where you see them, if you take them off the street at that point, they probably go somewhere else and go hang out. The point I'm trying to make is we have indiscipline problem from early childhood all the way up. And if the child is having a problem at the early childhood level, it's gonna have a problem at primary level and secondary level, just the same. If it's not STEM, the problem has to be STEM, and it can't be an overnight fix. This is not going to be an overnight fix. We're moving police officers right now from their official duties, whatever the capacities that they have, to go into an area now that is a brand new type of thing. And so whatever they were doing and keeping over there is they're gonna lose that focus to focus on something over here. So I don't know what the immediate responsibilities should be, but I know what the long-term responsibility is, and it's from early childhood. Because I'm sure that Michelle is gonna bring up this thing about this little child who was
that was sad.
playing to the camera, and that's where it starts. If we're not putting qualified individuals at that level to teach our students.
At what level?
The early childhood, 3-year-old to 8-year-old is that time that kids there are developing who they are until they reach to age 8. When they reach age 8, you can't catch them again.
All right, hold your thought for me, Leo. Only because I want to wrap up this Valentine so we can get into things. Diana says, good morning, Doc, D, Michelle, Leo. How is everyone today? I have a spouse with ways and sensibilities just like my dad, who is awesome, loving person. Spouse knows I love Valentine and flowers and goes all out with roses and orchids, my favorite. I know he thinks it is commercialized, but because I love it, he goes all out. While we were dating, what he did was he got a picture of me and had it blown up, then took it to the artist and got it painted, and it sits in her living room. And she continues. So I just wanted to wrap up that little Valentine positivity.
That's fine.
To go back into the education sector.
We have to have a 20-year plan, Diana and Michelle, and say we are going to focus on these students that are coming out, and we put them by what do we call it again? Each year we watch those children for 20 years.
Monitor them.
Yes. Yeah. And take them year by year and put them, because if we don't do that, we cannot control. We have so many problems in our culture right now that is unbelievable. This is, I saw, for example, and I'm straying a little bit, but I'm going to show you an example. The government came out with a new act last week for we call it a road safety act.
Yes.
And then they follow up with
traffic,
the electronic signer. And I'm saying these are good things that help to stem crime today, right? But what's going to happen? It's in the news right now. I'm kind of freeze up, so I'm unfreeze myself a little bit, right? It's going to be in the news today. And then for the next 3 weeks, you might see a lot of great activities, and they might collect money and people like get ticket and then thing. And then after it come out of the news, policemen stop executing, they stop enforcing, people start doing the same thing again. And next year, the problem is the same thing as it was.
It already started.
So we have to have a plan, execute the plan, and the most important thing is to follow through with the plan. Because if we're not following through with the plan, this is what happened. Our kids are going to be on the street doing whatever the hell they can. Because if you do it in Montego Bay, you're going to have to do it in Port Maria, Another Bay, in Kingston,
Trelawney.
or Trelawney, and all of these other places, right? And how are you going to do it? It cannot just be about Montego Bay, because it's a problem right throughout the whole country. And so, we can't deal with our lives that way. Yeah, we may look a quick fix business. was staying in news for a couple of days and then it gone. It doesn't make no sense. It
That's
can't
true.
impress
And
me that way.
yeah, and getting back to that video, 'cause I was very disheartened when I saw the video, because I'm like, it's a
What
child
video now?
with the minor child. You could tell the child is maybe about 4, a young child. Like, I'm not sure if you saw the video. I forwarded it to you. I didn't forward it to anybody else. But the child was in distress. And I'm like, as professional teachers, you're supposed to know how to handle a situation like that. But they don't look like they know how to handle it. They have the camera, they're calling the child demon, you know, all these things, which to me, they should have ushered this child away from all of the students from the get-go and bring the child to either the principal office or somewhere, calm the child down and try to get down to what's happening, because obviously children can't really fully express themselves. So they maybe don't know the words, and whatever I see in his household, how they deal with stuff, that's how he's acting. And find out what is happening and have a conversation between the parents, the principal, get a counselor, you know, like intervene. But doing it, then sending it to social media is not the way. And I'm hoping the ministry steps in, because there are teachers who were in that video talking and doing all these things with that student. So I don't think it's fair. And as a parent, if it was me, it wouldn't have done right there. So I hope the parents take action, because that is so unfair to that child. People are laughing and ridiculing this child, calling the child demon, which to me was very hurtful. And the approach should be totally different. And as Leo said, train them differently.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that, Michelle. Michelle, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
You see that word that they call demon? It's a word that we tend to refer to our kids who are different from everybody else. Right? Now, there's a theory in criminal justice when called labeling. Right? Labeling means that you call him, what do you call it again? Wait.
Demon.
Demon enough.
Yeah,
that child, and he's going to live up to it.
Yeah, you don't call children name.
You don't call children by that name. And so if we don't have trained people at this level who are executing a plan that if you are labeling a child, it must be labeling positive images, positive stuff in their minds. So that, because you cannot call a child a demon and expect him not to be a demon. Be a demon.
Exactly. And the fact that they just had the child there and having the child acting, it was so heartbreaking.
It means like that there wasn't any professional. Yeah.
No professional, not one of them. And the ministry should go down on that school. They should set an example, because that is just not right. And the parents need to say, I understand the parents, you know, like you don't know what's happening in the home, but children usually copy what they see. So we don't know. We don't know.
Yeah, but the ministry will get on every damn school.
All of them. No, it's all right. All of them, because this is not right. The principal support, even if you train the principal to teach our staff, but that just was not right. And to them, if I'm my child, if I were Adrian, oh my God, he wouldn't have done right there. So, because Adrian is the same age as that child. He can't really express himself sometimes, but he get frustrated, and it happens with children. I think, and then the other children seeing this behavior, they're gonna start copying it too. So they shouldn't even have the child standing there with the other student looking. And
first of all, that person who videotaped that, they should go to jail.
I think so too. I really
know that I agree that the person should go to jail for
no, they should.
That is illegal.
Because the person might have been recording it. No, hold on. The person might have been recording it as evidence for something.
No reason.
Or perhaps I don't know that the person was recording it.
No,
or that it got uploaded.
Not one reason.
By right. I don't know if you noticed that, Diana, that there is a law against taking images of students in Jamaica.
Yes, I know that there's a law against it.
Okay.
And you need to have parental consent.
Absolutely.
But I don't know if parents had given consent for
no,
pictures.
I think
you like consent.
Would you give
hold on, and I just say that perhaps this person who recorded it, I'm not
no defense.
Throw that person under the bus.
No
that
defense.
person who might have recorded it might have been doing so to show the parent, to say, look what I'm doing.
No.
I don't know.
It went viral.
Is it viral?
Diana, it went viral. It should not be
No,
sent
but
to
I don't know
somebody.
if that was the intention and that was the same person who uploaded it. I'm not condoning it and saying that it was right in the first instance. I'm just simply saying I don't want to say the person who did it deliberately for upload
No,
and to get
you
numbers.
would have
No.
heard that person saying that on the video. That's not what they were saying.
What's that?
You would have heard the person saying, I am videotaping this because I am concerned about the child. They would have said that on the video.
Okay, all right. Well, I'll go watch it and find out.
There's no defense. It was so hurtful. Like my heart, like I would go down there and attack this person for that child. That is how I felt.
No, you
Because
would
it
not.
was wrong.
No,
in
take
every
that
way
back
wrong.
because then you continue
No,
the
you
whole
would
cycle.
But
not.
because that child can defend themselves and look at what they did to
Yeah,
that
but that's
child.
not the
Imagine
solution.
somebody
That
have it as
Michelle,
a-
you're sounding like
as a show.
that other video. No, I saw a video out of England where this girl was being
Was
beat
attacked.
up on and set up on by
Yeah.
her classmates at a school in
The brother.
and
Yeah.
it's like 6 or 7 of them was beating up this one girl and the parents were giving the instruction, get her here, you kick her, hit her there, hit her
Yeah.
there.
And the
It was
teachers did
horrible.
nothing.
That was hard.
There's one in Florida where this little boy was calling the African American teacher all kind of racial name, and the teacher just turned around and just punch him down. Boom, boom, boom. Who
Yeah,
never
but
punches
he
like
did
this?
it.
Yeah. What?
He couldn't do it.
He did it. He did it. He never got cheerleader because the little boy was wrong.
He was
And-
wrong with it.
And there's nobody.
I didn't see that. Tell me what happened.
He was calling the teacher. He's in the class. The students in the class. And I call the teacher all kind of racial.
Okay.
Right. And he came up to the front of the class and I call him that, and the teacher, boom, thump him, boom, some rock.
But you know, like
That's
yeah,
unfortunate that it got to that stage. Market says, preach, Leo, preach. Labeling must be positive. They call kids dumb and demon and bad. Diana says some professionals have book learning, but no professionalism or love or care.
Yeah,
and I think probably that is what is missing here. Some will never be dedicated to their background, you know, no change when they're adults. I heard my dad
let me tell you, respond to that a little bit, right? In Jamaica, our early childhood institutions are many. There are 3,000 plus of them. I think it's like 3,200 of them, right? Only 300 of them have a professional trained teacher in there. Because they're called infant schools, because the government has adopted those and is spending and funding some of them, right? The other 2,700 are like the ones that I went to Miss Chambers' school, where Miss Chambers just loved me and my kids and the kids them around it come and decide that she open one school, and so we can go to school from the age of 2 to the age of 6. And then Miss Hope have one down the street, and Miss Barnes have another one down the street, and so forth and so forth. And what happened is those are privately owned schools. And in those privately owned schools, Miss Chambers not necessarily have any teaching degree. She just loves kids and want to teach them. And Miss Barnes not necessarily have a teaching degree, and Miss Hope not a teaching degree either. And so what happened is we have 2,700 plus of these schools around Jamaica with practitioners who are also from the community, someone who's not working and probably just wants something to do, and they hire them in that school. And so just of late, some of these schools, some of these teachers are getting to go to Hart to get a certificate so that they can be trained, but it's still not up to scratch. What we need is for the government to get involved in teaching, in providing trained people for students who are from age 3 up to age 8, trained people. Because if they are not trained, this is what you will see, labeling for the negative. This is what you'll see, people recording. There's no way that a parent or a teacher should be recording a child in school because it is illegal and it should not have happened. And if you are a teacher, you come there and see somebody recording, you pull that camera away and say, no, you can't do that.
I remind them of
But
the
just
law.
for some
and call it blind
clarification about the industry though, a lot of the the infants, the basic schools, the early childhood institutions, yes, they're outside of government control. And they're not all owned by Miss Hope and Miss Gloria. A lot of them are owned too by other institutions. Now, what the law requires, what the Ministry of Education requires is one trained teacher
Yeah, I think that,
per
yeah.
institution. They will pay for the trained teacher. You'll find that those that are owned by churches, they will have far more trained professionals in those spaces. But typically, you're going to find just one trained teacher because that's all the government will pay for, one trained person. And then they allow persons who have a level 2 in heart. Anybody get a level 1. You can get a level 1 in anything, because it's just a knowledge of something that is going to earn you a level 1. So level 1 don't even exist. So level 2 is really the starting point. So they allow persons to have a level 2 in early childhood education, and those persons are to support the class. The logic of it escapes me, because if you only have one trained teacher and you have 3 grades of school, then it would mean that it's all untrained people who are supporting these students. So Leo is quite right. But beyond the trained teachers, though, we have to recognize that even with training, we would still see this behavior.
You probably will, but you need to see this video.
Okay.
This video was focused on this child.
I sent it to you, didn't look at it.
Yeah, this video is focused on this child. It would never have happened in a public institution. I am positive that would not have happened in a public institution.
Is that a public institution?
Well, maybe it is, but I'm talking about primary school and we're talking about primary school and all.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate that it happened.
That was sad, heartbreaking.
Yeah, because one thing I know, when you go to teachers college, because I went to teachers college, not because I wanted to be a teacher, but because it was an opportunity. But once I went, and you get a certain level of training and understanding, your heart belongs to those children. And you do everything in your power to make sure that the right thing is being distributed to them. And so there's a difference between a person who understands the meaning of being a trained teacher. Because in America, they adopted this principle where even a PhD teacher or an ED teacher is out there teaching those little 3-year-old kids. You understand? And so it is important that we start spending some time on these little individuals so that they can grow in the way that we want. Sitting there, go again, Diana.
Really treat the way you want it to grow, because
yeah.
then when it has grown, it won't depart from it. And, you're quite right, Leo, about how the developed countries spend their resources and pay greatly for early childhood education because they're looking for the long-term impact. Yes. We have flipped it, and the people at university earn so much more, and then the other level earn more, and the ones at the foundation who set in that foundation for the society, for the rest of the generation, are not even compensated in any way to live a reasonable life. So
yeah,
right. Yeah. We need to rethink, but it's probably not just a Ministry of Education thing, but an entire society that, as a society, we need to say, what do we want for our children? And it's not just the training. Michelle spoke about taking the child and putting the child in a space, in making that child calm down, and then trying to make them use their words. Is how aware we are of social emotional learning, and managing emotions and all of those things.
Yeah, but doesn't that come also with training? Because if they were trained,
yes,
they would have
when you
known
speak of general teacher training, most institutions won't have a course that tells you about social emotional learning, unless you come Catholic College of Mandeville. But it's not
then I guess
in the curriculum.
Into the curriculum of all. Then it should be.
Well, it ought to be, and I agree with you 100%. And those who have been trained need to be brought up to speed on it, so they understand it.
Yeah, even just the principals, so they bring it back to their school, because as we see, a lot of these children do have issues where they're acting out.
Mhm.
So these teachers have to be equipped to handle it. And
Yeah,
obviously,
man.
they're
Yeah,
not.
man. Yeah, man. Once upon a time, 3 to 6 year olds used to do play stuff, sensitization stuff, and
Yeah.
understanding how building blocks and all them stuff there. But they're actually learning ABCs and 1, 2, 3s and 10, 11, 12s, right? And so it is important that if we are teaching them that the other side of the human being
Yeah.
be treated also. And I
Yeah.
don't think that part is being
Yeah.
is
A
reflected
holistic
upon.
approach to
Mhm. Yeah,
education
man.
Yes.
at that age. A holistic, a full.
Yeah, so
That's
I,
true.
I really I really want to see because what education does, train the child in the way that he should grow so that when he departs,
When he's older, he won't depart.
or whatever, yes, something like that, right? All right. So what education does from that early age, it prepares us to live along the lines of the law, right? Because you build moral principles, you build truth and justice, rights and wrong, and all of that. You are learning that all the way. If there's nobody down there who's teaching this, when they get to age 9 and 10 and 11, them turn teeth. And everybody turn teeth because then, it's easy. It's easy to do wrong once you're not trained. If the child is not being trained the way that he's supposed to be grown, then what happened is that it's easy for them to do wrong because they don't know right. They don't know wrong from right. And so, boom, everybody gone. So we gotta get it.
Yeah, we have to get it back together. Some comments on YouTube. M. Sterling Green said, good morning, folks. Good morning. Gary said, good morning, my friend. Good morning. That is true, Leo. They have to start early because I remember even talking to some of my mom's students that they would say the things she instilled in them, how to dress, how to talk, these are the things that they use, their study pattern, loving themselves. These are the things she instilled. She never called anybody name. I always say her students go from they could be the backup man to whatever, they conduct themselves and they have respect. So yeah, the teachers have to not only teach them how to read, write, all of that, but teach them on how to be in society, how to conduct themselves, how to act, and set good example also for them while they themselves are on the road, when they see them out on the street, how they carry themselves. And that is lacking because you see all these teachers nowadays act like them are the students at age. And then when the students then become disrespectful, they have a problem. But you never set the standard of, you're a teacher, yeah, and you're the student, so you still have to be respectful. They don't. And then when they're out of line, they get upset. And they go on to other people where they don't have no respect to anybody in a society. So yes, the parents can do their part too, but the school where they spend most of their days need to step up and do better if we want a better Jamaica.
I agree with Leo that at the end of the day, early childhood educators must recognize that they're helping to form the society. They're helping to form a child's social development skills and capabilities. They're helping to form and develop a child's emotional well-being, their state, their understanding, their management of it. They're helping to form and the cognitive skills, not just the academic stuff, but there are other things that are important that are far more long-term than whether or not they can set up ABCs.
Hey, listen to this data. I was watching a video last week, right? And it was when they had the new road safety act thing, right? And this guy was being interviewed, and they asked him how much ticket he have. 250 other tickets. And he had the list right in front of him because he's trying now to get into paying for his ticket from 1984. He says, I have been driving taxis from 1984 and I have never paid for a ticket. No, there are two things in play right here, right? The first thing is, can you imagine him being an early childhood student who did not respect anything coming up, so that as soon as he gets to be a big man, him still a disrespect the system, not never paid for a ticket from 1984. The good thing is that the law kept us a list of all of those tickets because they kicked out all of them. He's been driving for 30 years without paying for a ticket. That's one. Can you imagine? Right now, how is it that in play where someone goes 30 years without paying for one ticket? What the hell kind of a system is that?
Exactly. No police, nobody not pull him over.
No, but it's supposed to, how does he renew his driver's license? Because you have to
That's
renew
my
your driver's
point.
license.
That's my point.
How do you renew your driver's license?
He might be driving without
A
On a
license.
piano license.
That's my point. I never operate taxi, right? That is my point. How do you do that? Now here's something. So I was listening to a senator last week, and the new road traffic law says that if you want to buy a bike, you have to also buy a helmet. Are you here? You with me, right? Now, the law says,
Or have a helmet.
no, the law says wherever you buy the bike, you must also purchase the helmet from the same place. That's the law.
No, that's not a law. That is dumb.
That is the law.
That's a foolishness.
Okay.
Suppose maybe I are foreign and then come at
But do you see how the law is trying to force a certain sector of society to establish bike business and make money on the side the same way?
Yeah, that's what I heard about the car seat.
Okay.
Okay.
So you can imagine why a car seat would be a problem. How do you enact a law with a car seat requiring the taxi man to have baby seat in a car? That means what, him going to drive around with the baby seat every time? What do you mean? He going every time somebody stop them off, come in and fit in the baby seat in a car, and it take 2 hours for the person to fit the baby seat, because the baby seat have to be fitted with the we call them
harness, everything.
Yeah, it take 2 hours. Take 2 hours to install a car seat if you know how to install it.
Might take a while, man. I have to move, man. But yeah, that was ridiculous. But then I heard that people were making money and importing car seats before this even became law.
That's exactly
so it's like a money-making business.
Money-making these. And so the system is setting us up so that the poor gets really poorer, and the rich, because the taxi man is not going to be able to do as good a business, and him still have to pay in taxes, and him still have to pay in tickets, and him still have to pay in insurance, and him will carry less people in the car, and people make money off a car seat. That is completely irrational stuff.
It's not irrational. It's a logical thing. If you're the businessman, it's quite logical. Let me take some comments. Joy Kane Marquez says early childhood educators need basic training, certification, and oversight. Brain development at age 2 and 3 is too critical. Joy Kane says, I'm not a trained teacher, but in my local area in London, I was able to make many young children better use of their time in primary school and secondary. Paulette says the indiscipline is from the top down to the bottom. Joy says, my youngest was told by educators in secondary school that he would never pass one exam. In 2023, he's on his way to university to study natural sciences.
That's nice.
Yeah, a lot of those teachers are crap to students.
That's very nice to hear.
It's encouraging.
Okay, on YouTube, M. Sterling says slackness. Yeah, what else?
I must tell you though that the Early Childhood Commission is doing a pretty good job these days of monitoring, evaluating, and also monitoring, evaluating, and updating, right? Meaning that they're keeping tabs of the schools that are in play and trying to help the best way they can. Funding is a big deal because government now fund the sector.
Right. Government can't afford to fund it. And there is another move of
Well, for the
to-
ticket sales or whatever, the collection of that, how much million they collect? They
They
can
don't
put
collect.
some of that towards.
They don't
Yeah,
collect.
they collect. No,
they
they,
don't collect.
oh, they
Ticket
issue
them.
the
They
ticket.
issue 335 million. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but
Well,
you
if they
can't have it.
collect
But
it,
if you're doing a balance sheet, you would, if you're doing your cash flow projections,
It
is
can be
is
it's an
something
asset.
that within 90 days you're going to have it anyway, because that's at the period less than
Yeah.
that 30 days.
The
so you get a
problem is
portion to it.
the problem is 6 months down the line, police stop executing, and then whoever get the ticket, them already now paid anyway. So I mean, hey, that's the problem.
Yeah.
But
That's
I
okay.
think that this new system will keep a better track. Is that not what they're saying, or is the same old system again, but we just dress it up?
I think they had copies of the tickets. Everybody had their tickets. They had a copy of the tickets that they're supposed to pay. But the system now make it any better. Whether or not it's being enforced. Is
Some
the
people contend
enforcing?
that they have paid their tickets and they were still seeing them on the system.
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
So there's no efficiency in that system.
Some people are gonna go through the cracks. I mean, that's the way it is. You know?
But boy, that is hard though. 30 years and have ticket outstanding for 30 years, renew your driver's license every 4 or 5 years, and still driving a public passenger. And then they have to renew their public passenger license and permit.
Absolutely.
On top of everything else. So what are you checking for when you do that renewal?
So when a policeman stops you, he gives you a ticket, but he has no record of any kind of ticket that he had before. Because by the time you get to 3 tickets, he's supposed to, suppose our 4 ticket, he's supposed to have a warrant for your arrest or something like that, you know? And this guy had like 8 or 9 tickets, he said, and he said, well, I never go pay for my ticket anymore because I have 3 jackets. That's children. 3 tickets at a month. That's funny.
No.
But if we start to monitor our kids from the early age, we will have, but we can't do it overnight. It's a long term deal.
And the government can be held responsible for raising our children. I think that the family unit needs to take more responsibility for it. So yes, we don't have the number of educators in the classroom, trained educators, but how parents deal with their issues within the family must be different so that the children know that this is not acceptable.
Oh, Michelle, go on and talk about that.
The rest of the society too have to engage churches and support groups, civil, whatever you call them, civil society, all those other groups.
Yeah, Leah needs to talk about that.
No, we can't just say it's a ministry of education.
You are family.
No, I never said it was only the ministry of education. I said everybody play their part, but when they outright violate certain things,
yeah,
they should be called out and they're responsible for that. Like in this instance with this video, it's the ministry of education agents, the teachers that did this to this child. So they should be called out. That's what I said. Yes, the parents might do stuff at home.
If it is a public school.
No, it is. They're in uniform and everything.
No, but the private school, them wear uniform too.
No, but they can maybe look after the name of the school.
Okay.
But I'm saying
they know where it happened. That's not an issue.
Diana, yeah, but the thing is that they should, in this instance, the ministry responsible and the ministry need to take action. Like the parents here need to be dealt with, but the ministry need to take action on this matter.
Yeah, but as we go forward, parents have to step up some more.
Let me respond to that, Diana.
Yeah.
Because I'll get away with that one. Okay? In any society, the first thing that has to be established is a police force in any society. As soon as a bunch of people live together and them come together in a particular square mile, we have to establish law. And because, why? Because we cannot allow people to just live and do whatever they want.
Right.
Because people will do wrong to each other if they're given the opportunity to do.
Right.
So we have to set standards first.
Right.
The standard is the law that we set. So when we set the standard, the people then follow the standard, and it becomes a habit for them to follow the standard. And after a while, it becomes natural order, and people set those principles as the way of life. So it's the law that they put in place first that make people start responding to the law. Just like these guys who, when the new act came into play, the act came into play, everybody are run down to go pay them thing. They're responding to the law, the new law that comes into play. It's the same thing with the police. And so, yes, we can blame the parents of them not doing their due diligence to grow their children, but those children must be grown according to what the law is saying. And the law is built with principles, values, morals, all of these things come into play for our general point, and we respond to it. That's the way it goes.
Right, but I don't. You said that I'm not getting away with it. I don't see
I'm just
anything
kidding.
to get away with.
I'm kidding you with it. I'm kidding with you.
Because what I have said is that whilst we need to keep the teachers accountable for their behavior in the classroom and how they handle the situation, it really starts with the family. Because if this child was brought up differently, or if his experiences were different at home, he wouldn't be reacting the way, and I took the moment to look at it, the way that he responded to the teacher, albeit that the teacher is treating him that particular way and all of that. But
did he really look like he was crying, Diana?
I don't know that he was crying, but his finger movements and stuff were very deliberate and pointed.
Exactly.
And I'm saying that this is not something as a result of the teacher saying that, but it's something that he would have had to learn somewhere else. So we could have a collective responsibility. So all the trained teachers that were in place, until the parents know their role and accept some responsibility for raising the children to be compliant with the rules and the laws of the land, we're going to forever have this vicious cycle.
Okay, now you watch the video. Quick question. Yeah. Don't you think the teacher escalated the situation?
I think that the teacher handled it totally wrong. I think that the teacher lacked the understanding, and those around her clearly had no understanding either of how to manage these situations.
So that's why I put it on them. That is why I put it on them. They could have acted differently. Yes, the parents need to be involved, but with the child, they could have handled it differently.
You're giving them a lot of kudos there, Michelle, because there's a possibility. No, I'm playing with words. But you have to also understand that if they don't know that they're doing something wrong, that's a problem.
Yeah, that's why ministry should train them.
Okay, all right.
So that's why. Yes, we know the parents, and he maybe, as I said before, he more than likely got it from home, whatever he saw, don't know how to deal with it, but they didn't help. So they have to also be
They aggravated the situation.
Yeah.
Their poor handling of it aggravated the situation.
And when they don't learn what they need to learn, the core values at home, the school can also reinforce it when they come into the school. And
that was when you were growing up and when Leo was growing up, not since then.
Michelle, I sound like she old, but the thing is,
she'll sell out herself, Leo.
Yes.
Hold on, don't go no further. Hold on a little bit. Joy Paulette says the indiscipline is from the top. Yeah. Where were we? Debbie Jervis says, us as parents have to be advocates for our children. I had to check a few of my kids' teacher because one of the teacher had the gall to tell my daughter's class they won't amount to anything. Wrong class to say that to in capital. Jessie Smith says, good morning, you're back. You know I am overjoyed. Juliet says, I agree with you, Dr. Diana. Respect starts at home. Continue, Leo. Michelle, all you want about being old.
I was saying though that that child is coming from a background that's very different. When we were growing up, many of the kids would stay away from a child like that, and we would start saying, "Oh, he go for military school, he go for military school." that pretty much right. That's labeling, right? But the thing is, that's it's either
You knew
use
it was something for you to avoid. You knew coming
That's
from.
my point. That's my point. That's my
Yes.
point. You either straighten up or nobody will talk to you. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But the thing is, yeah, the teachers have a lot of responsibilities here because it would not have escalated into where it is unless the teachers knew exactly what was going on.
Do you think that if we were to pay teachers more, even without the training at that level, that it would help?
No.
No, my mother was paid the crap.
No.
And she did a great job. She went to school every morning. She couldn't even buy food.
But you had a
But you gotta-
conviction, Michelle. I don't know that all
Exactly. So
educators
the
have that
money,
conviction.
it's not money. It's not money then. These
The only
teachers,
reason
it's
we
not money.
can look at it and be critical is
Mhm.
because we have learned, we have been trained over the years, and even when you leave teachers college, sometimes you still not got it. You still have to get some professional development and some experience on how to do these things. And so it is important that at that sector, that level, that we have just the same level of professionals that we are doing in our primary schools and secondary schools. That's very important.
Yeah, I don't like the argument about money because money not, you still need to do your job. You understand? If you don't want to do it, then leave the profession. But if you go half-assed it, sorry, don't do it because you can go in and say, all right, because me not get paid well.
Well, you can't say that. You can't say that either, Michelle, because people want job at Jamaica. They want.
Yeah, but the thing is that I don't like the excuse anymore about because paid. This is what.
Yeah, right. I agree with that.
No excuse.
But Michelle, let me tell you the truth though, the pay is really, really small,
I know.
especially at that level, and it might perhaps be just frustrating. The teacher probably feel overwhelmed, not getting paid, the child not learning, child acting up. She have to go do more than just teach this child. She have to train the child and she have to bring up the picnic and all of that. And she probably just feeling overwhelmed.
Yeah, but my mother always tell me, with teaching, teachers will never, ever get paid enough. So they already have to go in there with that.
Well, they want to at least be able to buy food.
But you still have to do it. If you're gonna teach, do your job because you see how the world is turning out. You see. So you have to have the heart and have to want to change the projection.
Michelle, we're not making enough money, you can't.
Eh?
We're not making enough money, you can.
No, but we need to look better.
I can take care of things until yes.
Yes, I can.
All right, that known. Joy Kane says, Michelle, we can only bring to the table with how we were brought up. Yes. Lorraine says, I was born in the USA with Jamaican parents, and my dad especially was strict. This is Mark's wife. Demanded I respect authority. My dad was loving, but a strict disciplinarian. Respect of my teacher was a given. My teachers, that was a given. Lorna says, some of these children have mental issues. The teacher who is an adult in that situation should handle the situation better. Call the principal, remove the child from the classroom. Sandy, she's sending happy Valentine's wishes to everyone. The mental issue part of it, do you think that training is again would have helped? No, that
because not to cut you off, but like even with my son's school, at an early age, you have professionals coming to the school. Like the teacher will say, all right, this child acting out, not doing whatever. So they have professionals come in, they talk to the parent, have them sign off, they have them come in. They look at the student, they work with the student. If they see that the classroom is not fit for that student, then they make a recommendation for the child to go to another school where the parents will move the child to another school so they can adjust.
But
right? Not every child, in certain setting it works, but that's a commitment. And not only the government, but like you have other institutions that offer these services, go in and work with the government. So,
I agree. So there's something that's missing in this, right, guys? What's missing is a policy, a procedure and policy, because in schools there is a method of how to treat with these kind of situations, and I didn't see it being employed, right? And so if you pull a child from a class, why is the child outside of the class, and where would they go there's a policy for everything that goes on in a school. You hear Michelle, I tell you exactly what that policy is in her school. It's the same way. If there's a child, then the principal or the teacher gets involved, and if the teacher can't handle it, then put it to the principal, or they move them to one particular area. And a child should not be exposed to so many people around them when that kind of crisis. That's a crisis. And so therefore, what do you do in crisis? So there was a policy issue that's breached there, whether it's breached or it's not ever in place.
Right, and I think it's more that the policy has been breached, because most institutions, the Ministry of Education certainly would have policies around that, and the Child Development Agency and all those multiplicity of agencies have policies relating to how they should treat. It's clearly a breach of the policy, breach of all protocols relating to educating a child. And even if it is that there is within that institution an absence of that policy document, just common decency, just that mother in you, just that human feeling would tell you to move that child from there, not to treat that child that way.
Yeah, no, but nothing was triggered. No.
And so it probably speaks to our worsening position with the wider society. And we're just so totally indifferent to everything, and we have no feelings towards each other.
Well, that's true too.
Well, we are fighting against every law. Missy man punch police officer and the policeman shoot him, but yet people are say the police shouldn't shoot him. Listen, the job of a police officer is very strict. If you attack a police officer and him feels him life at stake, boom, he will shoot you and kill you. And he not shoot you in your hand, he not shoot you in your foot, he not shoot you in your anywhere.
Leo, you know, me not agree with that. So nobody had to go down that road with that police example. You use another example.
Nobody, because let me tell you something. If a police officer anywhere in the world feels as though their life has been threatened, they have the bandwidth and they have the authority to act to protect themselves. And so you don't come and punch a police officer because he might tell you something you don't want to hear and it's okay. It's not going to happen. Don't punch a police officer. Okay?
Get his batch number.
And what if he punch you?
Argue with him all day long. Tell him all kind of stuff. Right? But don't punch him. Because
except don't tell him about his mother, because you know you're not.
Don't say the mother part.
I don't tell him about the mother part. You're getting too personal.
Remember, we saw a comment on YouTube. M. Sterling said government needs more support system to take care of its people. M. Sterling said, agree, Diana. M. Sterling said teachers are not necessarily to be responsible. It's the system. What does the disciplinary model looks like? On point, Leo.
Paulette says, my parents raised us to respect authority. Some kids are not raised that way. Some kids also have mental issues, she says. The teachers need more training to handle those challenges. Sandra says, in these times, our children need a little extra tender, loving care from all of us. The burden belongs to all of us. True, a community of teachers and guidance counselors. Diana says, I agree with you on this, Leo. Aiming at folks' arm or leg, they are trained to shoot at the huge body part. That is guaranteed to stop you shooting anywhere else, and you miss because it's in the limb. Usually they keep.
Yeah, but when they talk about all this support, I keep hearing about all these agencies in Jamaica that are there to assist. Like, the one that they're firing the lady, the children,
Commission, the child care and protection services.
Protective services, yes.
Yeah, and they have other little agencies that I keep hearing in the news that are there.
That's a whole different argument.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, why not utilize them? They are there. Utilize them.
Michelle, there are laws in Jamaica that are not implemented, are not enforced. There are plans on the books that are so properly prepared, but all they are plans. And so we're not even going to go this up. We want the practical situation. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? Funny as I said, law, you know that this traffic act was on the books for
I know,
over
long
10
time.
years, and
Yes.
that just now
Yes.
implemented. My God.
I don't have a problem with it, by the way, aside from the issues that are out there that are, I don't have a
No,
problem with,
just to me how long it takes.
Yeah,
Like
it
how
is.
long it takes for a law to
Yes.
come in place. Like
Yes.
time is changing so quickly, rapidly. So laws need to be changed,
It's unfortunate that I heard Minister Chang comment about it's been out there and the people them not everybody knows it. That is not true for him to say that.
No.
It's
The teacher themselves, the police themselves not even knowing.
They don't know. Exactly.
Joy Kane says, Michelle, people in most countries don't know their basic rights. And
That
that's
is true.
probably this problem with Jamaica. We don't know a lot of our rights,
Yeah.
and we hear a little part of it, and we make a lot of assumptions around our entitlements.
Who spend the time to go and find out what their rights are? Nobody does. You only find out when you have rights when you got jail or you have police station.
That's true. But then we try to educate them.
However, you don't, if you are morally correct and your values and principles and attitude are straight because you learn that through your family and through school and you grow up the way that you're supposed to grow, then you won't have to insist on your rights at all because you are doing the things that you need to get ahead. I wanted to use this moment to recognize the efforts of a gentleman who passed away yesterday. His name is Delano Franklin. And Delano Franklin, Delano Franklin, an attorney. I met him back in 2004, became closer to him. I wouldn't call us friends, but I was closer to him between 2006 and up to the time that he died. I call him the father of the diaspora movement. He's the one who designed everything for us to be successful in engaging with Jamaica and Jamaica engaging with the diaspora. He's the one who instituted the Jamaica Diaspora Institute, Jamaica Diaspora Foundation, the diaspora conference, the whole thing about GJGDDC, whatever that is, all of that stuff. He is the one who implemented this and gave us a space, a foundation, a basic foundation for us to be able to do for Jamaica, to expand what we can do for Jamaica. It's the reason why the JD-TAN exists. It's the reason why the JD-ETF exists. It's the reason why we have multiplied in the past 10 years what we are doing for Jamaica than before. And so I feel cheated to know that someone like that has died because he had so much more to do to accomplish in diaspora movement.
All right. Thanks for sharing that. We did acknowledge his passing when we opened, as to Bishop Thompson from the Anglican Church as well, who passed. But I hear you, Leo. I saw a comment on somebody's Facebook thing where she was saying how much Delano had contributed to the diaspora growth and development. And somebody asked, what diaspora? So she said she never even bothered answering them all because
well, let me read some comments on YouTube. M. Sterling Green said police officers need mental health support as well. Pretty much all the workforce needs employees assistance program for well-being of teachers, police, and nurses, and so on. M. Sterling said they are human beings having to deal with a lot of frontline duties. She said our condolences. But don't teachers have support?
I don't want anybody to think that when they say they need mental support or that means that they're mad. No. They're mad. It means that we just need a little bit more balancing in the way that we do things. Right? We need some professional development about how to treat people, how to treat yourself, because some people just need like a self-care, just to understand who they are, so that they can, if they understand who you are, then you know how to treat other people and so forth. And you just to rebalance a little bit, because sometimes we lose focus in the excitement of life, the hardship of our jobs.
I hear you. And usually we take some birthday things. We have 2 minutes before we go. But since we might have missed anybody having birthday this week, I know my two church sisters, Claudette and Camille, having birthday, and Ingrid. I don't remember who else. But anybody having birthday? If
Michelle,
not,
when is your birthday?
In March
March 22nd. What date?
26th.
26th.
If
Okay,
y'all want
so I
to
have
throw
a
me a
little bit
I'll
party,
make sure that I'm missing. I'm not on the show before.
you think I got to throw me a party, whatever. I thought you were gonna throw me a party.
No malice here before.
1 week before.
1 week before.
That's true.
Valentines of pink and red, special words of kindness said, small surprises, funny jokes, paper hearts, and pretty notes. The best part of Valentine's Day is that I get the chance to say it today and for the rest of the year too. I love having friends like you.
Oh,
we
thank
attacked
you.
it?
I thought
Are
maybe
we
you're gonna go
attacked?
on next week.
Are
I
we
mean, I don't
attacked?
want to hear the poem day.
Are we attack? Are we
It's for
attack?
all the owner. It's for
Yeah,
Leo
'cause
and
all-
Mish and all of everybody online who,
Into
looking forward to the
Valentine's
day.
Day.
Happy
Although
Valentine's Day.
I'm the Valentine's Day Grinch, but for everybody who's going to enjoy, do enjoy the day, have a fabulous time, and enjoy it with your special. If you don't have a special person, you could definitely take yourself out.
Tell
I
him,
choose
tell
not
him
to
what then.
spend on myself.
Tell him, Michelle, tell him again what it is that you want.
Well, I would like somebody to take me on a
Michelle,
spa
don't make
date.
Leo draw you
They
out
called
here.
me, but you
Make
never
no
know.
Leo.
Somebody might have listened. I really decide to do it.
Exactly,
You never
exactly.
know. So he might have helped me. So I want to go on a spa date. I prefer the person, buy the clothes or dress I need to wear to dinner. I would like my dinner reservation be set, and then the car service picks me up, take me to dinner, and then I would like to go. After I eat all the food, the 3-course meal or 5-course meal, I would then like to take a walk on the beach.
You hear all of that again. She didn't say we.
Okay,
She said I.
She's simply expressing her desires for the collective good. Guys, Leo, it's really good to have you on today.
Yeah, it was good to have you
back again. Michelle, as always, I trust that your dreams will come true. But if not, don't feel too bad.
No, maybe next year.
Still have fun. Yeah, Mr. H, and you're good. Leo, take care of yourself.
I'll be working. All right, bye.